Hi folks, welcome to ICTV's Just Outdoors. This is a program to bring you the bare facts about the woods, waters, and wildlife of Itasca County. Well, today we're going to be talking more about the woods than anything, because we have a special guest and a special area that we're going to be talking about. It's a campground that has just been developed in the last 2 to 3 years, 4 years, and a lot of you might not be familiar with it. And so we're going to bring you this campground, show you about the campground, talk about how it was developed and who developed it, and hopefully you'll learn something about a campground that's right within the Grand Rapids area, particularly Little Prairie. And the person that's going to talk about it is the owner, operator, guide, host, everything. Jason Newman.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Jason Newman, thank you. And Jason, along with your wife, Rachel.
Yep.
And of course, your father, Tom, was part of this, but you two are...
And Marilyn as well. So we're a quadplex of owners and operators here. So myself and Rachel, husband and wife, and then my parents, Tom and Marilyn, on there. We make quite the duo team here.
Well, the reason I asked you to do this is we really need more campsites in the Grand Rapids area. I've been traveling around the state a lot, and there are campsites in towns and cities this size, a lot more than we have here. We have the one at the fairgrounds, and we got one out at the on the river on the Pekegama Dam. But basically, it's limited. And so you have developed this campsite and this campground, and let's talk a little about how this thing got going.
Yeah, so we are located in the city of La Prairie here. It's a small town right next to the Grand Rapids here. This property here was an undeveloped 120-acre forest, about 20 acres of it at the confluence of the rivers. So there's the Mississippi River and the Prairie River where the two rivers meet, and I call that the confluence area there. That is a seasonally kind of flooded forest area down there. But then the rest of the 100 acres then is going to be kind of elevated above the river with some great river views. It was, kind of a rough forest at first, so it did take a logging. So we set a contract out and got a logging plan put together, kind of busting through those first roads, because even the couple trails that were already established in this area were difficult to get a vehicle or even a four-wheeler kind of through on there. So first stage of this was, let's get our camp road set through there. Some of that challenge of the logging and the development of this campground here too was trying to keep as many trees as possible. Most construction, they want every tree out of the way in order to do the work that they need. And I kept constantly challenging them to keep it as forested as possible throughout here, because when you are eventually camping, you want to be in nature. You want to be in the forest aspect of it, not out in the middle of a field.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that later on in the show here. I will drive through and show you some of these campsites and how you've developed it so you keep a lot of the natural areas here. And you're in a real special area here. When you have two rivers coming together, two rivers, campsite. It's a special area. Everybody pretty well knows where that is. It's basically, you cross the Prairie River when you're heading to Duluth on the bridge, and you just go down. I suppose it's about a half a mile, isn't it? Is it to the Mississippi River?
I think it's about 3/4 of a mile.
3/4 of a mile.
From the bridge all the way down. Yeah.
And so just so folks know that as you're traveling on the river, your campground is on the right, above the bluffs, and that whole area there is where we're talking from right now. Okay, so.
And what's interesting as well, when a lot of the campers do visit us here, they're coming during the summer months. So a very particular, it's May to October, with June, July, August kind of being the prime season when there's most amount of people here. So there is unique wildlife that's already here during the summer months, but it's also interesting to be at the campground here in all of the seasons, particularly in the spring. There's a whole new array of birds that are coming and traveling through that are different than at my house. My house has a field aspect of things, but with the water here and the forest, different birds are showing up here that are fun to see. We do get, a bear that we might walk through here as close as we are to town. There's still about once a year, a bear will walk through and say hi to the campers.
How about wintertime?
Wintertime, it's pretty quiet out here. We don't really have a plan for use in the winter. Okay. So that's kind of something we would like to be thinking about, is how to use this space in the winter. But currently we just kind of use it for walking trails.
That's what my question was. It's also, it's a campground, but you also have and are developing sites for walking trails.
Yes.
And things like that. So people could come out here and use those walking trails, is that correct?
Well, right now they're set up for the camp users.
Just the camp users?
Yep.
Okay.
But I am currently working with the city of La Prairie, getting some of those segments open to the public. In particular, right now we're working on the Wayside Rest over there. And that one's going to be an improved fishing opportunity for shore fishing, ADA access, vaulted toilet over there, and just kind of like cleaning up that area, making it more of a destination. And then a public trail will provide an easement from behind our campground here to La Prairie Avenue. So then folks, when they are wanting to go fish, they can use all public trail to get to like a fishing opportunity there. As well, there are other trail opportunities that are in the works because of this large property and then the future potential housing that could come through here and creating that neighborhood of trail system.
So do you have access to the river right now where people can go down and either use a boat, canoe, or fishing?
Yes.
Sightseeing you do? You
Yes.
have sites on your campground right now?
What's interesting about our layout of our campground, we have it set up in 4 blocks, with each block having 12 campsites. So there's 49 sites here, which is quite impressive. It's a very big campground. And I set them back, the closest ones, slightly back from the river's bluff edge as well. So they allowed space for a trail, and I call that the bluff trail. So everyone in our campground here is able then to enjoy all the best views of the river while walking through there, and not just that one campsite butted up next to.
Yeah, you got to allow for fluctuation of the river level too, don't you? That's a big thing. Yeah, because that.
In the wintertime, it could be really low, but frozen, and then all of a sudden during the spring thaw, it could come up 10 feet. It's an incredible fluctuation.
And a lot of fish in that river.
Yes, we enjoy that from catfish to bass and walleye and northern bass, muskies.
Some of the best places to catch muskies around anywhere.
Yeah.
It's probably in the confluent there.
That's the unique thing about a river fishing, is the diversity of species that you can actually target in there.
Okay, so you got 49 campsites. We're going to be looking at a map here pretty quick here on just how this shows where your campsite is and where the rivers come through. Yep. It'll give everybody a good idea on just what this thing looks like. Actually, from the air, when you look at it. But what else can you tell us about your future for the campground?
Future for the campground. We have lots of visionary kind of ideas and things to kind of do. We'll have to be able to pick and choose which ones we can afford at some point in time. But I did talk about the Wayside Rest and Trail kind of aspect of that. I think that's going to be really great. We do have a small playground right now, but we're going to be constantly looking at ways to improve that, whether it's a natural playgroundscape or maybe more of like the swings and slides and things like that. But that'll be an improvement. We're also looking at the idea of music events out here. There's a particular area down by the river that I think is a perfect spot for a small stage and like a pavilion of some sort that I think could really, river rhythms or something like that.
Sure.
So that's an opportunity.
Well, you got a vision there.
Yeah, got a vision for that one. We don't have a pavilion structure set up out here yet, so I do think a pavilion would be a large pavilion. We do like the diversity of different types of camping and staying here. So some people are staying in tents.
That's what
some people are staying in RVs.
How about fifth wheelers?
All of the above. Our sites are as big as they need to be to accommodate any vehicle to come in. But I'd also like to bring in a potential of a couple vacation cabins. And we can find some really scenic spots to tuck those away to add another level of accommodations for folks to stay here. As well, throwing around the idea of a couple events. So could we use our trails for a 5K race, let's say? Could we use the Prairie River to do a river float or river kayak race? So we're kind of looking at ways of getting the community together, do an event, celebrate together out here, maybe some music and food, and maybe encourage some camping
You
as
got
well.
such a unique area here with those two rivers. I mean, it's just, you can't find that hardly anywhere.
Right.
So you got the spot here. What are the amenities for a camper coming in here? What do you provide them?
Yes, so upon check-in here, we do have an online reservation system first off, and that really streamlines the process. So you can choose your site, see the map before you even arrive on site here. But once you've then selected your site, you'll enter in on Campfire Lane, the new street that we created here. You'll pass by our dump station right away. So that's a double stall dump station. So RVs are able to, two RVs at one time are able to dispose of their black water or gray waters and then fill up with fresh drinking water. So that's a really convenient system for them. And then as they enter into the campground itself, the campsites are gravel pads. They are back-in sites. Each one's going to come with a fire ring and a picnic table. And then they all have 20, 30, 50 amp power.
Electricity on all of them.
That's been able to accommodate all the machines from microwaves and AC that are the camping nowadays.
How about water?
Yes, so we do have water scattered throughout our facility here. We have about 10 communal water spigots. So they're not individual at each campsite. They're scattered throughout. As well, there's 2 scattered vaulted toilets within walking distance for many of the campsites, or in our brand new shower facility right here, which has men's and women's bathroom and shower facilities. A great communal area here, which I really do like this building here. This is kind of a special one. It's passive solar design. So in the wintertime, we're trying to maximize our sun, soak it into our concrete here so it releases the heat at night, but as well, 3 sides of us around are cast concrete walls and with earthen embanked. And if you walk on the outside out there, you can see we have lots of native plantings and flowers on the edge of that. And that really kind of super insulates the building.
Your wife helps you with that, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it takes a team to manage this out here.
Yeah, okay.
As well, we have a camp host on site.
Oh.
And so the camp host, once you find your campsite, in a matter of, typically she lets you settle down and then she'll come and answer any questions you might have. Or if you did do a circle around and you couldn't find your site, there's the last campsite there and she would help you out.
Well, now you mentioned the water. You have 5 places you have water or so.
Yep.
There's no direct hookups to any of the campers with water, is there?
Correct. That's not the intent. They are close enough though to where some people are able to connect up their hoses still. I mean, so on average, maybe you're within 200 feet of a spigot.
Yeah, so
they're available.
There's
out there.
water available, you need water.
Yep.
So you can get by with that real easy.
In general here, so we have a daily, a weekly, a monthly, and a seasonal rate. So depending on how long you want to stay here, we have the right rate for you. So even within most people that are staying in the daily to weekly rate, they don't really need to have the continuous sewer and water hookups. By them, once during their stay, stopping at the dump station to recharge or to empty their tanks, typically has been sufficient for them.
Here's a question. A lot of the campgrounds that I visited, I do some camping, and as the years go by, they have been turning over a lot to more seasonal campers, more and more and more, and pretty soon person that comes in for a day or two can't find an opening. Are you going to limit that at all?
There's no particular plan, but right now it has not been an issue. We have a couple seasonals right now, but it's not, with our 49 sites.
Taking up half your space.
Right.
Okay.
And I hear through the management side of things that campgrounds tend to transition to that because you can maybe have better friendships and community with your with the people that are there all the time versus the short-term folks that are coming and going. So you have a little more control on your clientele. But for us, we like to be that range of stays from the daily all the way up to the monthly seasonals.
Where have some of these people come from? Have you had people from a lot of different states staying here? Or?
Including different countries as well. So it's not just limited to the United States here. But yeah, we do have return guests that come back from California. We've had guests that are traveling through from Canada. Staying in our place. We've added over the big ocean from Sweden as well. Wisconsin, throughout Minnesota, obviously very common, still just people traveling around.
That's got to be a really interesting part of this venture, is meeting the people.
Definitely.
Talking to them, find out their backgrounds, and pretty soon there's a friendship, camaraderie going on there. That's what this is all about, it looks like to me. So.
And what's neat about the campsite again too is like we are only about 2 miles from downtown Grand Rapids, but when you're out here you don't feel that.
You don't know.
We are secluded, it's quiet, it's scenic, it's a really happy medium to allow camping, but to have the amenities close to town.
To be this woodsy when you're close to a population like that.
Yeah. You can still go to town and get attend a restaurant, or you can go to the grocery store and bring back your s'more supplies. I mean, the possibilities are endless for folks on that.
Well, I'd like to go out to the map and show people what we're talking about as far as the area goes, specifics on the 2 rivers and where your campsites are.
I think it'd be great.
Okay, folks, on the way to the map, we noticed that there's a lot of wildflowers been planted here to keep with nature in the area here. And Rachel Newman is going to explain a little about this and how she got going with it and what she has here.
Yes, on the bermed side of our shower facility, we had a lot of disturbed soil. So I grew plants with my high school greenhouse and landscaping class here in Grand Rapids, like this purple cone flower here. And Jason also purchased a lot of wildflower seed that we added to this hillside because we're really passionate about keeping it natural and having a forested area out here, a flowery area where our native insects are going to find a lot of food. My dream is that people will come to our campground and they'll feel the beauty of it with all of these native wildflowers, but they might not know exactly why it's so pretty. So my dream is that we'll have native wild plants all over. And we spend a lot of time taking out invasives like tansy and a Canadian thistle that we cut back as well. So not only does this keep our building a more constant temperature, it's also a little food for us for the insects here.
Yeah, it goes up about 6 feet or 7 feet on the wall there, doesn't it? Yeah, that really adds to the temperatures that you need.
Yes, yeah, and raspberry really settled in first. It's kind of a pioneer plant that started to break up the soil as we did berm it up. And we're just slowly removing grasses and slowly adding in more native plants that we start and then we transplant in. So it's definitely a work in progress, and it's fun to see all of the bumblebees and all of the native bees and wasps and insects already showing up.
Yeah, and you're going to have plants around, and you already mentioned that, around your campsites. Each campsite and all 3 are campground.
Yes.
It's going to be wildflowers.
Yes, we have some beautiful purple cone flowers between campsites 25 and 26, and people stop and take pictures of our wild lupine in the spring.
Okay, thank you, Rachel.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Okay, here we are, the map we promised. And Jason, you're going to help us interpret what this map shows. We got 2 rivers coming together.
Yep.
2 rivers campground. Here's the confluence. So tell us what's going on here.
I'm a civil engineer, so every map has to have a north arrow. So we got map north on here. We got City of Grand Rapids to the west. We got La Prairie downtown to the north with Highway 2 kind of passing through. Our new entrance that we created here is off of La Prairie Avenue and Kreml Drive. So it's all gravel road at the moment right now. Created with Campfire Lane and Two Rivers Street. As you come to the east cul-de-sac over here is where you enter into our campground. As I said before, you'll be passing the dump station and freshwater cleanups, the shower facility, and then at this point here, we kind of turn it into a one-way traffic for flow.
One question, how would they find that on Highway 2?
So during our interview inside there, we had our brand new signs that are about to go out to the highway. So what you saw in our interview just a moment ago, that will now be out on Highway 2 with our new sign foundation, right by the gymnastics facility.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody pretty well knows where that is.
Yes.
So.
La Prairie Avenue and Highway 2, and the gymnastic facility is that first corner there. So that's where you're going to be heading south onto there. So then as you come into our campground here, it is a one-way road, and we split up our sites into 4 blocks to kind of give some more space. So we have 12 sites, block 1, another 12 sites, block 2, another 12 sites, block 3, and then another 12 sites, block 4 throughout there. There's also 2 scattered vaulted toilets. As you can kind of see the raindrops on there, that's indicating where all these water spigots are at for people to hook up to or fill up water bottles.
Quite a bluff here, isn't it?
So this is a topographic map. As you're kind of looking at here, you can see these darker lines. Those are 2-foot increments. So yes, from the river up into this blue line is quite steep. The blue line that you see over here, all the way starting from the Wayside Rest, is a trail that follows that bluff all the way through. So it's really great scenic views starting all the way from the Prairie River down to the Mississippi River. And during certain times of the year, it fluctuates. This way, it's seasonal down here, but this is the confluence area. And one of my favorite viewing platforms areas is at the confluence down here. Usually lots of birds to see. Sometimes you can see fish actually in the water. The water's flowing by nice. You can see the nice sand down there as well.
Too.
Yeah, and fishermen.
Okay.
I was down there today, and there was a boater down there as well.
Yep.
I have 2 recommended swimming spots, but really you can have you can swim in multiple places around here. But we have this bowl area here. We call it the wreck. There's a dock down there, floating dock. So that's one spot to swim.
How about the flow when you're swimming?
The Prairie River is very casual, very easy to navigate on that. It is a little bit more shaded though. So when you get down to the Mississippi River, this is where the flow is a little stronger, so a little bit more seasonal, but it's really easy to walk down a nice grassy area to see there. Currently right now, the Mississippi River is a little high, so some water is actually kind of going through here. So this part of the trail is actually a little muddy, but it's not high enough to where it's all the way cutting through.
This is an absorption area right here for water.
Yes, silver maples are really common through there, as well as a lot of ash as well, which
like
we kind of know that emerald ash borer is kind of moving through, so there will be some changes happening in that area there. But some of the silver maples are massive trees down there. Beautiful specimens to see growing down there.
Good to know.
Yeah, and there is a power line that comes through through here, so that does split our campground and provide a nice buffer space up there. And in general, this map here is showing all the trails that we have currently right now. Some of them are in the works, you know, as I was saying before, from the Wayside Rest to Kreml Drive. That's going to be a public one. I do want to have a river walk trail over here as well that'd be open to the public. With all of our new streets, there's going to be side trails on that. So in general too, half the map, let's say, is going to be kind of dedicated to the campground. The other half is going to be dedicated to hopefully future residents of La Prairie.
Well, that's great. I like to hear that. It's public involvement for a lot of your land here.
Yeah.
Which is good. Okay.
So I'm hoping that we can then do a drive about through here and see some of these sites, and maybe I'll introduce you to one of our favorite ones.
Let's do that.
Excellent. Yeah, this is a nice vehicle to have for checking in on campers as well. Nice and quiet and moving about. It's a little fun to drive around too.
Nothing but fun.
This playground set here was salvaged from one of the elementary schools that was demolishing it.
Beautiful.
And so they got a second purpose over here right now. It is on the simpler side, but it is a safe spot for kids to play in, and I think it provides us an opportunity to expand and grow. We've got a dog library, dog stick library. Take a stick, leave a stick. We do have a collaboration right now with Stone Grove Community Sauna as well. So you are able to use their online reservation system to book a spot for your sauna session. What's cool about that is they do have some instructions nearby and a fire pit, and there's like some dunk tanks as well, so you can refresh yourself and wash off and cool off down there. So that's a neat little amenity for our campground here. Yeah, so this is block 1 to our campground here. As you kind of see, we did leave quite a few trees throughout here.
Yes.
So this is one of our vaulted toilets that we're coming up to here. That would be kind of shared between block 4 and 1 here. So just right here is a really good example of just a spigot close to the bathrooms here, and someone's able to turn it on and fill up their water bottles or connect those up.
Nice open area.
It does seem like block 2 here has been a very popular camping spot here. I think it's in general a little bit more open than the others, but the site's got nicely spaced out.
And amazing how flat it is too.
Yes.
This is a plateau above the river.
Yep.
And the people back in, they got to be just about right. Got them positioned just right. All right, there we go.
Yeah, this is a typical spot for the RVs to be parked, because right now we have our electrical power to the left. You're going to have a fire ring over to the right, and there's a picnic table nearby as well. So each pad as you come in as well is for the large RV, but there's also a side pad that's still beefed up for the vehicle. So if you dropped off your trailer, you could have 1 or 2 vehicles, say, up front up there,
Sure.
Easy, and on a nice firm pad.
Yeah,
for
they're
them.
long enough for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, they're good.
And we did our best to try and level things out around as well. So if you had your accessory structure, aka a tent, the tent could be laid out there for the kids or children to be playing on as well. Our tables, they are movable, so they are kind of like in different spots throughout your stay that you can move them around. Interesting enough, we have about over 50 picnic tables out here, right? They were all constructed by the FFA high schoolers.
Wonderful.
So we empowered them with the budget to buy all the materials. They came up with the plan and then executed it for one of their FFA projects.
What a great program, and what a wonderful person running that.
Yes, yeah, Sean Linder.
Yes.
He did a great job
Unbelievable with those
that,
kids.
yeah. He's a good leader for them.
Good. Well, this is one of their products right here.
Yep.
God, we advertise that a little bit. Good.
A lot of people are still concerned when we leave all the trees up. Oh, is there space for my RV to expand out and to have that? So we did try to prune up the trees. So we're leaving the mature trees as they are, but we do take the branches out so that it's not interfering
Actually
with the
makes
RVs.
the trees healthier in some respects too.
Yep.
Especially the pines.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you drive through on here as well, you'll see the number marker for each site. So everyone's been able to find their campsite quite easily through.
How about insect control? You do any of that?
We have just started to do a little bit of mosquito control right now. I was a little reluctant to it at first. At first it was even more brushy in here, but then some of the campers were talking about airflow. So by opening up that brush, we get that airflow, so that is helping out with the bug control. But we are gonna probably have like a fogging regiment.
Yeah, that works wonderful, and it'll last a month.
Yeah, and as we kind of just walk the edges of the brush,
all you gotta do. Yep.
I think that's going to be a big improvement for our guests here. This is one of my popular spots to get down to the river as well. So we're kind of encouraging hiking, swimming, and fishing starting on this trail through here.
Do you get many people swimming?
Yeah. It's not as popular as like the lake swimming or a sandy beach, but people are swimming down there. Fishing is probably just as popular. Kids like to bring their fishing line down there and cast out, and are all proud when they bring their bass up. And
one thing about the river there, it seems to me with my experience, is that fishing is pretty good most of the year compared to some of the lakes. You can catch something out of there most of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
With all the diversity of species, you can target something or get lucky.
Yeah. There's a 120-year-old white pine right there.
Yeah,
shower house.
Yes, but it does have that communal space in there, but it is the flushing toilets, it's the urinals, it's the showers, and then that beautiful communal space inside there.
I'll pull up here because somebody is watering some plants here. Okay, Jason, I think we gave the public a pretty good perspective, an understanding, and a view of your campground.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. It's very natural. You're going to plan on keeping it as natural as you can. And that's always in the interest of everybody, really. And you're right in such a unique area here. You got two rivers coming together, and we're looking out at the river right now, and there's fish in there, and you can swim right down here off your dock. And
Yep.
it's a really nice area. I'm glad we had the time to show the public this, and now they know there's a new campground in the Grand Rapids area.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I appreciate you taking the time and introducing the campground to the Grand Rapids area.
Thank you.
Thank you.